yours, Luke.
Welcome, students and spectators, to another installment of Manhood Academy Debates. I am Blue. I will be tonight's moderator. Tonight we have a guest. His name is Mike. He is a sex education teacher who is going to give an education to Professor, unless Professor has a say-so. Now, before we continue, Mike, we do record the debates. Do we have your consent to record the audio portion of the debate? We will not air the video portion.
Yeah, I've seen you guys' video before. It's perfectly fine.
All right, great. And just to kind of give us some background, can you tell us a little about your sex education history and what makes you an expert?
I don't even think that's relevant for the debate. Let's just go to his contention and we'll cover it. Whether he's
are you okay with that? Yeah.
Whether he's qualified or not, if he wants to bring it out during the debate, that's up to him. But I don't think it's necessary for him to list all his qualifications. I don't see any relevance to that.
All right, let's just go with your contention. So, what do you disagree about what you've heard so far at Manhood Academy?
No, most of what you guys are doing, I like. I'm not going to sit here and say a lot of what you guys are saying, I agree with. Okay, so you're not going to get me. I'm not going to be one of these guys that come on here and go, "Oh, you guys are evil. You guys are bad. Oh my God, you're so this and that." That's not me. Okay, my thing is, I want to look at a different way to make things easier for men, to make sex safer for men, okay? And the thing that I posted on your site was simply to start a debate on this idea.
Okay, that's right.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but the thing you posted, I just posted it in the chat room below us so you could see it.
Yeah, that's cool.
So everybody can click on that link. This is the post you wanted to post in the visitor section. I disapproved it, and I put the message there why I disapproved it. So just to give a background, why don't you go ahead and read that short 3 paragraphs there that you wrote so we have a background about what we're going to be talking about.
I'd rather, because I'm dyslexic.
Oh, go ahead.
Reading for me, I can just tell you what it is, and if they want to read it, they can read it. If you want to post it on the YouTube video or wherever else,
that's fine. You know what? Go ahead and just tell us in your own words what your contention is.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have been in and around sex for a long time, for 20 years. I have been telling people and teaching people about sex for years. One of the things is I'm involved in the BDSM and leather community.
Wait, the what? The BDSM?
BDSM leather.
Okay. And for those that don't know, BDSM stands for?
Bondage, discipline, sadomasochism.
Bondage, discipline, sadomasochism. Okay. I thought it was servant master, but it's sadomasochism.
Some people call it, usually if you see just SM,
right.
That's servant master, slave master, or submaster. Depends on the particular couples that are involved in that particular part of their life.
Right, got it.
So, but one of the things that we've been doing forever, and something I've been a massive advocate on, is the concept of safe words, of using safe words in play. Now, I've also been discussing with a lot of people over probably the past 5 years of this concept, of moving the concept of safe words into vanilla sex, using it as a way to make life easier for both men and women so that a lot of the stupidity that happens within sex is not there. Where you have all of the discussions up front, you have a definite, if something goes wrong, it stops, and if it doesn't stop and the person doesn't do it, then automatically that turns in, because consent has been removed, they're now automatically liable for being charged with rape, being charged with assault, being charged with any of these particular things. If we use safe words inside the play, anytime you're having sex or anything else, the chances of things going so far that you go through the intersection and you crash get greatly diminished.
Okay.
And that's basically my argument.
Okay. 2 major problems with that. Number one, if you need to use safe words for sex, there's already a problem with the way you're having sex.
I completely disagree with that.
All right, let me expand a little bit then. I too am a master of sex. I've masturbated for many years, as well as had sex with multiple partners, and I consider myself an expert on sex unofficially. I'd even wager that I probably had more sexual partners than you.
Yeah, I'll disagree with that.
Okay, you can disagree, but I would still wager you. Just to give my general expertise here, to give my...
Is your numbers in the triple digits?
Yes, at least.
Okay, then we're probably on par. Then I'll put it that way.
Okay. So with my vast experience, I've never had to use a safe word to even include this concept. So it's first of all, the concept to me of using a safe word during sex is silly, unless I can understand maybe why. Let's say you had a girl with a ball gag in her mouth and she was tied up, and then you were dripping hot wax on her nipples and whipping her at the same time. I could understand the necessity for using a safe word in that case, but that again indicates there's already a problem with the type of sex you're having. The fact that you have to go to these extremes, the fact that men even have to go to these extremes in their sexual activity is indicative of their inability to get their needs met with regular sex. That's number one. Hold on. You can disagree. Let me just make the second point, and then you can rebut that. Okay, I'll put that point out there. You can respond to that. The second point I wanted to make is that okay, so you have the problem of just including the safe word. The other thing you mentioned was this could prevent false rape accusations. I don't care if you use a safe word or not. It doesn't matter. A girl can make a false rape accusation under any circumstances, under any pretenses, especially if it's only you and her there. Who's to say you even said the safe word? It's your word against her. So a safe word being able to protect you, this notion that you're going to be protected from a false rape allegation just because you have a safe word is absolutely absurd. It's just, there's no way that even if you told her the safe word, that she couldn't just go around and say, no, you didn't tell me any safe word, you just raped me, or you just did whatever, sexually assaulted me. So this notion that a safe word is going to protect you from any consequences during sex is silly. Okay, go ahead.
To that particular topic, after having all the experiences I have had with all the different, and I have used a safe word with every sexual encounter I have had since I've been 18.
Since you've been 18, you started using safe words?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. I've been in this life since I was 18 years old.
What do you mean this? What do you mean this life? What?
The BDSM lifestyle. This is an alternative lifestyle, and for you to think that just because I have to go and beat a girl and whip a girl and blah blah blah, and that's the only way I can get off my kicks off is absolute bullshit. Okay. The bottom line is that this is something that has been done since the dawn of time. This concept of something as simple as bondage or discipline or something has been going on forever.
Okay. Let's clarify this concept of bondage and discipline. We ourselves in our ebook talk about the concept of a male authority in the bedroom, in the relationship, etc. But this concept of bondage and discipline, and even in the term BDSM, sadomasochism, sadism.
You understand what the term sadomasochism means?
Educate us. What does the term sadomasochism mean?
A sadist is somebody who enjoys inflicting pain on somebody who is willing.
Okay, a sadist is someone. No. Stop right there. A sadist is someone who enjoys inflicting pain. You added the addendum on somebody who is willing. It's not true. Sadist just enjoys inflicting pain. Whether the other person enjoys it or not is irrelevant to a sadist's pleasure in inflicting pain.
You're wrong.
I'm wrong.
You have no idea. You're sitting here making judgments on my lifestyle and the hundreds.
We're not even talking about your lifestyle yet. We're just talking about the concept.
You brought it up, so therefore
we're talking. I'm clarifying. I haven't even talked about your lifestyle yet. I'm clarifying just the concept of bondage, discipline, sadomasochism. I'm not talking about your lifestyle personally yet. I haven't even covered that yet. I'm just talking about the concept. Just like if I was talking about eating, and let's say you're a fat guy, and I'm talking about eating. I'm just talking about how you eat, and maybe what is too much or what is too little. I haven't talked about your diet yet personally. I'm just talking about the concept right now.
But again, you're wrong.
So you're saying a sadist. You're saying a sadist. So if I'm wrong, what you're saying is a sadist inflicts pain, but it only depends on whether the person receiving the pain likes it or not. That determines the sadist behavior.
Yes. Everybody I play with is consensual.
Okay,
Everybody I play with, I have very long, detailed discussions with. This is what I want to do. This is what I would like to do. What do you like to do? What is it you want to do? And then we take all of those, put them together, and we agree on it, and then we go forward.
I agree. You've made an agreement, but that's not sadomasochism. I want you to clarify. I want to clarify that the term sadomasochism is not the same exact thing as what you're doing, which is a consensual BDSM, sexual play. It's different.
In BDSM, which is what I am talking about. It is.
You're talking about the context of your life, not just the principle itself of wanting to inflict pain on somebody. You're putting stipulations.
Those guys are insane. Those guys are insane idiots, and they deserve to be put in jail.
Who? I'm clarifying what you're talking about. I'm clarifying what you're talking about. I'm clarifying this concept, which has been around before this, the informal or formal community of of bondage and discipline players, people who wear leather masks, ball gags, that type of thing, leather whips. I'm not talking about specifically the community activity or the atmosphere or the individual agreements you make. I'm talking about this concept, this principle of sadomasochism that exists before that even comes about. So this concept of people wanting to inflict pain. For example, serial killers are sadists. They get off.
But they are not.
They're right. They're not part of the community, but they still enjoy. They're not part of that bondage and discipline community, but they still enjoy inflicting pain on others for sexual gratification.
You're lumping me in with the serial
killers.
No,
I am not lumping you in.
Hold on.
Period.
I think we're making a distinction on semantics. And, Professor,
I'm not making a semantic distinction. I'm trying to clarify for this guy who is confused as to what I'm talking about. You are confused. You think I'm addressing your lifestyle. I'm trying to clarify this concept of sadomasochism. It has a spectrum. There are, this is why I'm bringing up the example of the serial killer. A serial killer enjoys inflicting pain during sex, and some serial killers, right? They enjoy inflicting pain when they're having sex with a victim. They get off on the torture aspect. Then, on this other end of the spectrum, there are, the bondage and discipline community is right, maybe somewhere in the middle there, where they enjoy inflicting pain, but they make personal consensual agreements between each other, so it's not overboard, and where the other person doesn't, eventually die, suffer and die to that regard. So I'm talking about the spectrum of the whole concept, not your particular lifestyle. This is what you're confused about. I haven't addressed your lifestyle yet. I'm just talking about the concept in general. Do you understand what I'm saying now?
I understand, but you're wrong.
I'm wrong about talking about the concept? So you're telling me that serial killers aren't sadomasochistic serial killers who get off on torturing people they're having sex with?
They're not part of what we do.
I didn't say they're a part of what you do. I just made the distinction. I just got done saying they're not your community. I said they're part of the concept. I said they're part of the concept of sadomasochism in general, not your particular brand of it. Just like Islam has a wide range of fanatics over here who will blow up elementary school buildings, and then Islamists over here who say we should be peaceful and that nobody should be killing each other. Would you agree that there's different brands of Islam? Just like there's different brands of Christianity?
It doesn't equate.
How does it not equate?
Simply because there's consent and there's not consent. Once you move outside of consent, it is no longer...
It's no longer sadomasochism.
No, because it moves into the realm of people hurting other people in a way...
that's what a sadist would do.
Consensual.
That's exactly what a sadist would do.
Sadomasochism is a consensual act. Period. There is no... Anybody that you talk
I don't know where you came up with that definition that sadomasochism is by definition a consensual act.
It's really simple.
Really simple where? Where did you get that definition from? Because that's your own personal definition.
I've been dealing with people within the scientist community for 20 years.
Yeah, dealing with people in the community. In your community.
I have been dealing with historians. I've been dealing with teachers, professors. I have been talking to all of these over my last 20 years. And the bottom line is that this particular type of thing that we do has this name, that's it. Anybody outside of that spectrum...
I like how you just conveniently hijacked this term, which has been around before your community even existed, and now suddenly you're just dictating the definition of what it means.
Not know the history. Okay? BDSM itself, even the term sadomasochism, were not invented until long after consensual.
All right. You know what? I'm not even going to argue this point. I think you're dead wrong, and I think we can do research to show that you're dead wrong, but I'm not going to argue the point here. Let's just assume it means that. Go ahead. Keep going further with your point now.
No, the thing about it is very simple. What we do inside our community is consensual, and part of that consent is safe words. Safe, sane, and consensual.
Okay? Right. Now, how does that apply to me with my vast experience, my vast sexual experience? How does that apply to me?
Because the thing about it is, do you drive a car?
Yes.
Do you wear a seatbelt?
Yes.
Are you good driving a car?
Yes.
Why do you wear the seatbelt?
Because it's the law.
And you have auto insurance?
Yes.
And why do you have auto insurance?
It's the law. So
if the law didn't exist, you wouldn't have auto insurance?
Yes, exactly. I wouldn't have it if it just like if the car seatbelt didn't beep in my car, I wouldn't wear my seatbelt. Exactly.
Okay, so you're admitting right now that you are willing to do completely unsafe things and put your own life at risk and put other people's lives at risk.
Who says it's unsafe? I mean, there's more unsafe things than not wearing your seatbelt.
Not put your life at risk?
No, poor driving or texting while I'm driving is more of a risk than not wearing my seatbelt.
Yeah, let's look at, if you want to talk numbers, let's go look that up. Let's see how many people died before they were put in place and how many people died afterwards.
So you know you're a mind reader. You figured out who was putting on their seatbelt, who was in the middle of putting on their seatbelt, whether they had the intention to, what the circumstances were for their seatbelt being unbuckled. You know all that already?
Okay, first off, my point here is valid. Okay?
Your point here is what? What is your point? What is your point? I want to get to your point.
The point is very simple. If you do not wear your seatbelt, the chances of you getting into an accident are much greater. And within that accident, you possibly could die. I
must be the luckiest guy on the earth then, because I've had all kinds of brushes with not wearing my seatbelt, and I'm fine. Just like I've had a vast number of sexual partners without using a safe word.
Turned on you and called rape on you. You've been lucky.
I've been lucky all this time? So all this vast number of people I've had sex with, I've just happened to be lucky. I'm just a lotto winner. Is that what you're telling me?
Pretty much, yeah.
Wait, I think I have a...
You're insane. You're absolutely fucking insane. If you think the majority of people have fault, if you're what you're essentially saying is that the majority of people who don't use safe words have had rape accusations made against them. You're absolutely insane. That's exactly what you're saying.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that when you are doing something as like a sexual act, if you have a safe word in place, if, hypothetically, that person you are playing with happens to have a reaction to something, it could be something simple, it could be something big, if they have a reaction, and you don't notice it because you're not a mind reader, I'm not a mind reader, okay? Wait, you're sitting there you're in the middle of mid-thrust, and she freaks out, what's going to happen next?
Okay. Maybe she'll say, stop thrusting?
And, by the way, by that point, it's already crossed the line.
It's already crossed. You're insane. You're absolutely fucking insane. You really think that people are going to say, banana. Oh, too much thrusting, banana. Are you out of your fucking mind? You know how absurd that sounds? No, you really think the majority of people are going to benefit from a safe word? You really think the majority of false rape accusations are not from crazy bitches, entitlement-minded bitches who have gotten away or who do this chronically, as many of the cases we posted in our visitor section, and are just reacting to just a sexual situation where they just, that split second, when the guy thrusted one times too many, then it's suddenly rape in their mind, versus, if only I had a safe word, if only he had said banana, I wouldn't have accused him of rape. That's what you're actually implying that?
6 or 10 back, she already knew this wasn't going to be enjoyable and could have stopped it.
She could have just said no. She could have just said stop that. She could have just said stop that. Don't do that.
No, and stop. And no always means no. And yes always means yes.
She can't just push you off? I mean, you know how absurd you sound? You make it sound like you're like a handicapped child, and unless you have the placard, you can't do anything in life. I mean, it's absolutely absurd. I need a safety word to have sex? I mean, how silly do you sound? I don't even know how you talk to other so-called educators, and you made sense to them. I mean, I'm surprised they didn't laugh you out of the building.
I'm waiting till you're done. Are you done now? Can I
Go ahead.
Okay. If you have a safe word in place, and it could be something simple, it could be something big, it doesn't matter. It's something that doesn't need to be used at all. Okay? I just have to say, hey, by the way, if something comes up, boom, 2 things happen. You give the girl a chance to relax, because she takes all that pressure off of what if something goes wrong. She has an out. You
make sex sound like a time bomb. My first stipulation is if there's a problem, the fact that you need a safe word indicates a problem in your relationship, an inability to manage your relationship.
I am or what I do.
What's that?
You have no idea who I am or what I do.
No, I have a very good clue because I teach social interaction. I too happen to be an expert, and I know that you're an insane idiot.
Here's the thing. If you talk to the girl prior to the play, if you lay out, hey, even if it's not in a sexy talk, in a kinky talk, or whatever, you say, hey, this is what I want to do, and then they can say, well, I'd like to do this, I'd like to do that. If you lay all that stuff out, and then give them a way to stop it if something comes up.
How did people have sex before safety words?
Let me finish a fucking thought.
Let him finish the point.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, I got distracted by the absurdity. Go ahead.
The simple fact is, if you give all of these things, and it's a simple conversation, a simple 5-minute conversation, okay, could be had from the way to the bar, could be had as you're getting undressed. Hey, by the way, blah, 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 then guess what? She's going to relax more, she's going to be into it more, and the thing is, you can relax and enjoy it more yourself.
Can I talk now?
Please.
Okay, relaxed and into it because of a safety word? You are so fucking clueless. It's silly. You think the fact that, I mean, this is like saying a girl has mace and it's gonna relax her on a date. The mace is irrelevant. The safety word's irrelevant. If you are a guy who doesn't know how to socially handle yourself to manage your expectations, this is gonna have more of an impact on your sexual experience than a safety word. This is absurd. It's like saying you need a chastity belt or a lock and key.
It's amazing how many women I've talked to that have brought up the subject and they went, wow, that would have been really awesome to have in my relationships, because those times that I was put in a position that I didn't feel comfortable, that didn't know how to respond to it, if I had a safety word, I would have been happier and been able to go on and enjoy it.
I could see that working in the bondage and discipline community that you're involved in, where, again...
I use it as vanilla sex all the fucking time! What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, okay, so regarding vanilla sex, we're just having missionary position sex. How many people here would even consider that? I'm not trying to pull the audience right now, but I'm making a general statement. Before this concept of safety words, how did people get by on this vanilla missionary sex without this panic button that they could just reach across to? Oh no, thrusting too much. Oh no, thrusting so quickly. Oh no, it's too enjoyable. Oh, I mean, this panic button.
Have you not been watching what's happening inside the feminist community? Have you not been watching?
Which goes again to my second point, which is, why does it even, how does safety word even deter a false rape accusation? Tell me that.
Because the thing about it is that if they actually are able to stop and talk to you prior to them going off and going, oh my God, this guy is abusing me, even if you don't think you're actually doing anything wrong, then you're actually to stop and talk and work this out.
But how do you even get to this?
In the heat of the moment, excuse me, I'm not finished. When you are in the heat of the moment, that moment, you aren't necessarily thinking rationally. You are not necessarily thinking clearly. You're thinking about, I'm in the middle of this feels awesome, I want to do this. If something goes wrong, something could be, you did nothing wrong. You did absolutely nothing wrong. If you did nothing wrong, but she freaks out, and she has an option to go, okay, that's it. That instead of her going and crashing into the wall and blowing up and making it into this big goddamn scene, then what happens is she has a chance to stop and talk, and either you can be done and move on, or you can go, okay, I understand what's the problem, let's go back.
How the fuck did it even get to sex if you need to have this complicated conversation with the safety words and the seatbelts and the safety dummies? How does it even get to sex? You make it sound like they have to drop the legal agreements. I mean, why not just have everybody sign non-disclosure agreements as long as legal agreements, have lawyers tape it, videotape it, depositions? I mean, why not get the whole law? If you're really concerned with safety, why not get a legal contract involved? Why not do that? Why not everybody...
You enjoy the slippery slope concept.
What do you mean? So you're on an idiotic slope. This is not a slippery slope. This is an idiotic slope.
So no.
I mean, if you want to be so safe against rape accusations, why not get consent to film the act? So nobody. I mean, you're absurd. You don't see how stupid your idea is, and I'm just taking your stupid conclusion a little further to show you how absurd it is. And you're saying, no, that's stupid. You don't even realize what you're doing is stupid.
So the idea of having something that makes it so that if something goes wrong, that everybody can walk away safely.
Something goes wrong. You keep describing...
I was not finished. That everybody can walk away and feel safe and okay. That's a major issue for you?
Major...
That maybe that small percentage of men who use the safe word, who use this as a way to broach subjects about things that they are interested in doing. Using this as a way to say, hey, just in case something goes wrong with you, something goes wrong with me, we have a safety valve here. And even if a small percentage of men, if that makes them feel safer, then why not have the debate and allow people to talk about it?
You make sex sound like surgery. Like, if you don't cut the red wire, everything's going to explode. You keep saying, you're having sex, and all of a sudden your house could blow up. I mean, you sound absolutely fucking insane.
Oh, so that doesn't happen.
Sex is so fucking simple. You just insert the vagina into the penis.
When the girl freaks out, that never happens. That absolutely never, anywhere in the entire...
yeah, maybe when you're fucking whipping her. Maybe when you're dropping hot wax on her nipples. Maybe. But when you're having missionary sex, usually there's a conversation that leads up to it. Usually, I like how you whine like a crazy little bitch when I cut you off, but then you have no problems cutting me off. I like how you have no problems cutting me off. You don't even show me the same courtesy.
No, I apologize. Go ahead.
Okay, as I was saying, you make sex sound like this insane activity that's just, it's like handling nitroglycerin, it's gonna blow up. As if the two adults having consensual sex, can't talk about it beforehand, can't agree upon it, can't send each other signals that let them know that they're sexually ready. If I'm kissing a girl, she's kissing me back. She's not forcing me off. She's not saying, no, I don't want to have sex. If she's, it's all green lights. I don't understand how this concept of the safety word supersedes something like just saying, no, I don't want to have sex. Or, pushing me off with her hands, I'm not ready for sex. I don't understand how it's gonna be better than that, than just being direct, and also, if she's direct enough to say banana, the safety word, why isn't she direct enough to just say, no, I'm not into it anymore, let's stop? Why can't she, if she's direct enough to say a silly safety word, why couldn't she just tell you no?
You wanna hear some numbers?
No, because I don't believe your numbers. I don't believe you. There's no way I want to fucking take numbers from you. If you know anything about feminists, you know they're experts at lying with numbers. There's no fucking way I'd take a study or a survey from you.
From Rutgers University is lying.
There's no fucking way I'd take a feminist study or survey from you. We posted enough evidence in our own forum to show that feminists are liars. You can laugh about it all you want. That won't take away the lies you tell. That won't take away the lies you tell.
Excuse me, it's not a feminist study.
Says you!
Professor Michael, because we don't have any way in this debate to look at studies and scrutinize your body of work and numbers, can you please explain to us the concept? So just try to use reason.
It's simple. Okay? There has been, most people, maybe not you guys, maybe you guys are the lucky guys. Okay? I've been lucky too, because I've done what I do. But a lot of the guys out there, a good chunk of the guys, have had situations where they were with a girl who they did something, they didn't even know they were doing something wrong, and freaked out. Very simple. Okay? And the numbers for the girls are even higher. Okay? Again, I'm not going to quote numbers here because that's fine. Okay? When I do my videos later on this, I'll have the links to the studies and stuff if people want to go see it. Okay? Here's the simple fact. If you have something that makes people feel safer, then the chances of those things happening go down. That's it. All I'm saying is, if you give an option, I'm not saying every guy should do this. I say it should be an option. It should be discussed, thrown out there, and say, hey, by the way, here's another idea that you can bring in if you don't feel safe, if you want to feel safer. That is all this is. That is the simplicity part of it. If you don't feel necessarily safe, you want to throw something out there that says, here's an idea. I feel safe with this. And if she doesn't like it, then you have a choice to make. Either you can go forward, or you can say, you know what, no, this is something I need to feel safe.
You still haven't answered the...
for every guy. I'm saying this is for the particular people who enjoy, who think, hey, this would be a good little safety mechanism. You tell people to wear condoms.
You still haven't said why banana is superior to no, I don't want to have sex. You still haven't told me why.
Years of experience dealing with people and safe words. I know the brain. I know how it
works. You know the brain. That's not good enough for me. I've known your brain.
When you were done talking, I started talking.
I've known your brain for all 30 minutes or 50 minutes, and it's insane. So there's no way I trust you when you say, I know the brain. You're absurd. I would never take your opinion as a professional.
This is, let me try to reiterate what he's saying, because this is what I mean. If you use a safe word, it's not directly saying no, so in a way it's playful. Is that what you're getting at? It's playful and it's like role playing kind of?
Yes and no. What I'm saying is that it can be used in both role play scenarios and in vanilla sex scenarios. You can use it in any scenario in a way as to bring more safety into the particular play that you are going to do. Whether it's going to be nothing but her giving you oral sex, you giving her, you fucking her or whatever. If you feel the necessity to have something as simple as her being able to say red or banana or unicorn or whatever, if that is
versus no, what's the difference? I could just say no. What's the difference? You keep repeating the same stupid point without providing any rational explanation for why, other than I know the human brain, bro. I know the brain, bro. Therefore, I'm right. It's bullshit.
Excuse me. Does no always mean no?
Well, if banana doesn't mean banana, then we got a problem with your safety word, don't we?
No. Go back to my first point. Does no always mean no?
Of course not. So does banana always mean banana then?
Right,
does banana always mean banana then? If no doesn't mean no, if no doesn't mean no, genius, does banana always mean banana? Answer my question. Answer your question.
Yes, it does, because in the context
Oh, yes, it does? What?
I'm not done talking, so you can wait till I'm finished.
Sorry.
When you're using a safety word, when that word is uttered, consent is removed. When consent is removed, it is now non-consensual. Okay?
So essentially,
that makes it very simple and very clear.
Yeah, it's so simple and clear that you're so fucking dumb, you can't even fathom that the absurdity of your logic. You're basically saying, if yes doesn't mean yes, and no doesn't even mean no, how do you know the whole fucking scenario isn't rape? Like, let's say I go, okay, do you want to have sex tonight? Yes. Do you want to come over to my apartment? She says, yes. Do you want to suck my dick? Yes. Okay, let's get a safety word, banana. Alright, so we're gonna use banana. Okay, now we're having sex, and she says banana. Oh, I stopped, right? And then she says, no. Remember one of those times when I said yes? It didn't mean yes! Because I talked to the fucking safety expert, who told me yes didn't mean yes and no didn't mean no. So you just raped me, motherfucker. I don't care about your safety word. What do you got to say now, genius?
Are you done?
Yeah, yes, I'm done. I'm waiting for your response. That's why I asked you.
Because the thing about it is that when you're having the conversation prior, you are in your full mind. When you are in the middle of sex, excuse me.
So when you're in your full mind, yes means yes now, and no means no now when you're in your full mind, whatever you call this full mind thing?
Are you done believing?
I'm asking you a question. When you're saying, I'm in my full mind, and we're having this discussion about sex, and she says, yes, I'm up for it, I'm not up for this. So her yes means yes then, and her no means no then. That's what you're telling me?
What you're doing is you're assuming that women are lying all the time.
Well, you just told me no doesn't mean no.
No, and during sex,
so no doesn't mean no during sex, or it does mean no during sex? Which is it? Make up your mind.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, bro. Oh my god, I can't believe you're asking me to think for 1 second. Oh my god.
No, because you're not shutting up and letting me have my comments and let me speak.
I want you to answer the question. I want you to answer the challenge.
If you would shut up.
Great, go ahead. I'll shut up.
Okay. Simple fact. When you are not in a sexual position, you are able to think clearly. You are able to have rational conversation and be able to have this discussion as two rational adults. When you are in the middle of sex, things like no, stop, and don't suddenly become play words. They suddenly become words that could mean yes, could mean no. But if you have a safe word, a word that would not be used with any context.
Stop. You're going beyond. You're going beyond the challenge. I gotta stick to the challenge. You're saying that now suddenly, when you're having sex, the no doesn't mean no, and the yes doesn't mean yes, because now you're not in your full brain, supposedly. So, what makes you fucking think if you're not in your full brain while you're having sex, banana still means banana? I mean, you make it sound like suddenly you're a fucking werewolf, and you change, you lose all volition, and everything goes out the window, and now, suddenly the definitions change because the context of what you're doing has changed. I mean, how do we know sexual activity isn't just touching her, just looking at her sexually? Where do we draw the line on sexual activity? I mean, you're so absurd with your definitions of when words change. You know how fucking retarded you sound when you say, no is no here, and yes is yes here, but as soon as we start kissing, the no and the yes suddenly change form like they're fucking Pokemon warriors. What the fuck are you talking about? Are you insane?
No, I'm actually somebody that spent most of my day after I started this conversation with you talking to several women that I have...
yeah, the problem is you were talking to women. You fucking reason like a woman. Answer my question. How does no mean no here and no doesn't mean no here? How does that work?
Women are.
What?
You know that's the way women are.
Oh, I know. So now I'm supposed to know. Now it's mind reading. Now I know. At first you said we're supposed to not know. We're supposed to depend on the safety word so we don't have to worry about no. And now you're saying, hey bro, just live dangerously. You know how women are. I mean, you see the fucking absurdity and retardation behind your logic? If you can even call it logic?
No, because you're miscategorizing what I'm saying.
Oh, I am. Clear it up for me then, please.
Okay, it's very simple. When you are not in a sexual situation, but you are discussing a sexual situation, outside of the sexual situation itself, you are able to have a conversation rationally. But when you are in the middle of sex, all of a sudden, things change.
Things change, just because things arbitrarily change.
Please shut up and
You're saying the same fucking stupid point. Say something different this time.
You're not fucking getting it.
You're a fucking idiot. You're not explaining. You're not even answering the challenge. I'm saying, how does no mean no here when you're so-called in your full rational mind, and then you're having sex, and now suddenly it doesn't? You haven't accounted for that yet, you fucking moron. You keep repeating the same stupid propaganda talking points, which you're fucking jacking off to when you're indoctrinating idiots who don't even want to give you a clear answer. I expect a clear answer. Give me a clear fucking answer to my question.
Do you know anything about brain chemistry?
So now we're down to brain chemistry. So I depend on the no. The no means no because due to brain chemistry. So now I'm supposed to figure out her brain chemistry, and when we're switching to sexual talk, or when we're now in the bedroom and suddenly words don't apply because of brain chemistry. That's your rationale now. That's the rationale you're going with.
No, what I'm telling you is very simple. when you get into, when you get into a sexual mode, when you are going into the sexual acts, brain chemistry starts screwing around with your brain. But if you have a word solid enough in your brain that you know means this, you will utter it.
You will utter it. Okay, we'll just take your word for it. So when guys are on dates or they're in love with a girl, their brain chemistry is not fucking going haywire. When they're standing next to a hot chick, when they're about to get laid and they're thinking about the possibility over dinner, their brain chemistry is not going haywire. You're saying everything's super rational. Everybody's doing something super rational. Is that why guys super rationally spend $200 on a fucking dinner and they don't get laid because they're thinking rationally? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Because they're idiots for doing that.
Oh, they're idiots now. But I thought they were rational before. I thought they were rational. They're in their right full brain.
Really?
Yeah, no, really isn't an argument. That's right. Butthurt indignation. I'm trying to figure out. You're saying they're in their rational mind spending $200 trying to get laid, and they're rational. Yes means yes, no means no. Suddenly they're in sexual mode, and now they're not rational. So you're saying rationally, guys should throw away money rationally.
What I'm telling you is that if you add something in, that is rational from the very beginning. The chances of something going wrong are diminished. Even if it's only a small percentage of guys who are using it.
You're saying the same fucking retarded argument that doesn't even answer my challenge. That's how dumb you are. How do you teach this stuff? You're that dumb. You're telling me the same thing, and it's not even answering my challenge. I'm not talking about that, but you keep repeating it like it's answering it. You're a moron.
Are you done insulting me?
It's a description. If I call the sky blue, I guess I'm insulting the sky. If I call you a moron because you can't give an intelligent answer, I guess I'm describing your behavior. So if you want to take the truth as an insult, then yes, I'm going to continue to insult you for this entire debate. Because I'm going to continue to tell the truth. I'm going to continue to tell the truth about what you're saying. This is not a personal attack on you. This is letting you know that you're a fucking idiot because you think you're saying something intelligent, and I'm pointing out logically, or at least rationally, that this does not make sense. That's why I'm trying to get it to make sense. If you have a point, I want to know your point, how you got from here to here. You haven't answered that yet. You keep talking about past the community at large, a safety principle as a whole, but you're not answering this challenge. This is the problem. You keep repeating the same fucking information that is not relevant to the challenge I'm making to you.
Again, are you done?
I don't know. I'll let you know. Go ahead.
So you have an issue with doing something that might make guys safer.
I have an issue with your idiocy. Not the way you couch it is silly. It's like saying, so you want guys to die and rot in prison. Is that what you're saying? No, that's not what I'm saying. That's your stupid twisting of what I just said.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay. You know what? I think now would be a great time to go to the audience and just check and see the reaction to our debate so far. Let's check with the audience. Go ahead, Blue. You could go around the room individually.
All right. Hopefully everyone was paying attention. So let's go to Fasty. What are your reactions?
Okay, so I think I know what Mike is trying to get at. So he's trying to say that
Hold on a second. If you're shuffling your papers, please stop shuffling your papers. Sorry, Fasty, go ahead.
All right. So I understand that you're saying that the whole safe word is used like as insurance just in case something goes wrong, like, oh, the girl's in pain or whatever, and she wants to stop, right? So, like, and it's just in case type of thing. But, I mean, if, like, I'm kind of agreeing with Professor in saying, when he said, why can't she just say no? Because I know when you say no doesn't mean no. I mean, I feel like the context matters there, like, whether she actually is responding, like, her body, like, trying to hit you off, or, like, saying, oh my god, no, this hurts so much. Like, I think there's a clear distinction. And I'm not saying not to.
Okay, hold on. We'll debate, but let's just hear from the audience reaction first, and then we'll get back to it. Go ahead.
Okay, but I just think that if you were concerned for the whole consent thing about the guy and crossing the barrier of rape with the girl, then I feel like the safe word isn't that strong of an insurance to rely on. I mean, I think like recording consent or like videotaping it might be even better if that's the main thing that you're concerned about.
Okay, go ahead, Blue.
Alright, let's go to Sean.
Go ahead, Sean.
Okay. I don't have Mr. Hook's sexual experience, but he's trying to sell me something that I'm just not buying. Like, he says that he's really trying to push the idea that having some kind of safe word during sex is going to avoid bad things happening. I just don't buy it. Like, if you're doing something that the girl doesn't like, you can tell by her body language and the way she says things that she wants you to stop. She says, get the fuck off of me. or if it's a playful thing, she'll say like, "Oh, get the fuck off of me" or something like that. I just don't buy that it's going to have any kind of effect. I think actually there's another agenda behind it. He's trying to push the acceptability of BDSM, which, no offense to you, Mr. Hook, but I find disturbing and kind of gross, because you're pushing a behavior and a lifestyle that belongs on the fringe because it's about taking joy in hurting other people physically. Although, yeah, I guess you can say the same thing about martial arts. No, bullshit. I don't know why I said that. That's stupid. Sorry.
Well, I believe Mr. Hook would say that's a mischaracterization of his position. But thank you nonetheless for your reaction. Stingray, you're up next.
Actually, can you come back to me? Thank you.
Yes, you don't. Okay, let's go to DBE.
Okay. Can you guys hear me? Okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
We can hear you just fine.
Mike, nothing you're saying is making any sense at all. You're kind of just repeating the same agenda over and over and over again. And I heard it the first 4 times, so it's just like, it's very, like, every time you speak, it's kind of just like, fuck, more bullshit. But here's something that came to mind when you were talking about how, people need, like a woman, when you enter sex, when they start having sex, their brain chemistry changes and they enter in this different mode where they use rationale. I don't understand how having a word, like a safe word, is more, like, the word no, or whatever, the word no, or whatever a girl can say, like, oh, get off me, has been with her since birth. It's been there since before you came along. It is far more ingrained in her brain than a safe word that you just made up, like, 10 minutes before, or however long it was. So I don't see how you can make this claim that a safe word is all of a sudden going to stop or make a change in false rape accusations, when even the word no doesn't. And no is a much, I guess you could say in this argument, I guess a more rational word in that sense.
Well, I believe a lot of people are going to experiment with safe words nonetheless, maybe. I don't know.
I'm not. Sounds like bullshit.
But we'll go to General Butt Naked. What are your reactions?
Okay. Throughout the debate, the professor brought up a good question, which was the false rape accusation. And it seemed to me that he completely skipped over answering it and went in a different direction. Because if he knows anything about false rape accusations, they have nothing to do with being forced on. One of them was a girl who was looking for attention from her other girlfriends, so she filed a false rape case. Another girl wanted money from college, and she filed. So it had nothing to do with any of that safe word stuff, so I don't think that's going to prevent anything. The other angle he took, which was, I guess, basically saying to guys, this is a way to remain safe. In some ways, it would lead me to believe you're actually perpetuating a problem now, because now you're telling guys to try to mitigate the fact that they can be falsely accused of rape. The only thing, once a woman says no, it should be clear it's no, and she should be held accountable for stopping it. Instead, you're coming up with all these fancy words and basically telling men, well, you know, you could do this, or you could try this, and why would we need to try to mitigate a problem? That's like me, if your arm gets infected with something, you wouldn't put a Band-Aid on it. You want to get to the root of the infection and get rid of it. And basically, it sounds like you're trying to put a Band-Aid on something that you can't put a Band-Aid on.
Very thoughtful reaction. Thank you very much. Let's go to Zoom.
I wasn't sold. I didn't hear enough about his ideas. He didn't go deep enough into why he felt the way he did. I didn't hear enough evidence for him to be able to suggest that having a safe word was going to help in the fight against the accusations of false rape, or the idea that a woman is going to feel safer. That's about it.
All right, and let's go to Paperclip.
Mr. Hook didn't sell me on the idea of using a safe word. And that's just because, I mean, if no doesn't always mean no, then how can using a safe word like strawberry always means, you know, that's a safe word? And Mr. Hook never provided a good argument to counter that. And I won't think about agreeing with him until he gives me a better explanation of how that word would work. Because let's say if you said a safe word and she agrees, well, afterwards, if she still wants to file a rape accusation, she still can. And there's no, I mean, it's going to turn into a he said, she said situation, so that safe word wouldn't work.
All right, thank you for that. Let's go to Furniture. What are your reactions?
Yeah, I feel like the safe words are unnecessary. If you're using a safe word for her to be, I guess, more comfortable with herself, that would show that there's something wrong in the first place. Like, why isn't she comfortable to begin with? That's pretty much all I have to say about that.
All right, thank you, Furniture. Let's go to Poser.
Hi. I was just bothered by how silly the whole idea of safe words is. It seems like you're very invested in this view of yours because you've done this for a long time, and it is your reality to the point where you're not even seeing how bizarre it is. I've had sex before, and I can't even think of saying, "Hey, we're gonna have sex tomorrow in 2 days, so we should discuss these words. And if you're feeling this way, share this word." That just sounds so crazy. It makes it so complex, and the vast majority of the population can never sit and do all these. It's like having a flowchart or something, like an exit route. Sex is such a simple thing, and you're making it sound so complex, and you're trying to push this agenda. And yeah, sure, there's a problem. Chicks are making false rape accusation, but that is a problem that needs to be solved. Not just let's come up with some band-aid solution with the agenda. Hey, let's use these safe words. And also, you never answered. How come if no means how come if a girl can say no? How come all of a sudden if she says banana now it works? You haven't given any reasoning. You just said brain chemistry. Well, the brain chemistry should apply to banana as well. So too many reasons, and the fact that I could see you not answering his question because you're so invested in that view. That's what I gotta say for now.
Thank you, Poser. Let's go to Pinata.
Same thing, dude. I think that by having you a safe word and having all these conversations to kind of add to what Poser said, it's like kind of closing a deal. It's like, okay, so we're going to do this. When we get to this point, we're going to do this. And then after we get to there, we're going to do this. But right after that, we're going to say this word. It just makes me feel more fucking erotic. It's like, am I going to have to be aware when she's going to say this fucking safe word? And what if I'm like about to come and then she's like, oh, banana. It's like, oh, fuck. It makes it so much fucking complicated. You keep saying that it should be simple, but in reality, the whole point of you having a safe word included in sex makes sex fucking awkward. I would feel fucking awkward if I would have to use that. Also, again, General Butt Naked said it. What's the use of having a safe word if there's a lot of feminist bitches who will lie, who will make false rape accusations? Your safe word is futile, is unnecessary. It doesn't matter because either way, she'll still want to make a false rape accusation, regardless if you use a safe word or not. And we know in this feminist society, the judge will more likely believe the woman than you. They'll take the woman's word over your own word. So, I mean, it's...
All right, Chris. Do you have anything else to add? Pinata? No. Okay, let's go to Mike.
Oh. Alright, a lot of what I was going to say has already been said. Pinata just said most of what I was going to say, sort of general but naked. But I will add that I can understand using a safe word inside a BDSM community where there's whips, there's fantasies, there's hot whack, things like that. I can understand the concept of a safe word then, but applying that to vanilla sex, like people were saying, it makes it very awkward to have to set up that kind of standard in the beginning. Like, oh, if you're not okay with this, let's say banana. Like, just having that conversation is awkward, and not to mention that most women like to be dominated in the bedroom, so to kind of come at it with this kind of for lack of a better term, pussy mentality, like, oh, tell me when it's not okay, I think it might actually turn her off. The only time that a safe word I think would be like, you should definitely use it is if the girl has like a rape fantasy. She's like, oh, I fantasize about rape. Then yes, a safe word should be used because obviously no is not going to be no. You know what I mean? That's when I think it would be okay, but vanilla sex, I'm not buying it.
Thank you, Mike. You have something else to add, Poser?
Yeah. Also, your ideology doesn't solve the problem of women not being accountable. It's like a band-aid, like, oh, okay, since you're not accountable, we'll have these play words that you can latch onto. But the main problem is fixing the problem that make women accountable. And if you have the experience of making women accountable, if you can see it firsthand, you're like, wow, this safe word thing is so bizarre.
Thank you, Poser. Let's go to the new student, Scro. You can unmute your mic.
Let's go.
No thanks.
Okay, you want to... Okay, we'll pass. Alright, let's go to Reed.
Hi. Can you guys hear me?
Mm-hmm.
We can hear you fine.
Alright. I want to say that I just can't buy this idea, Michael. I understand that you've had a lot of experience, and it's hard for me to say I disagree when I'm still young. I still have basically no experience to what you've been through, so I can't speak for you. The problem here is I can't buy what you're saying. I don't understand why it's suddenly going to solve the problem with false rape accusations. I don't see how it's going to. I don't see how it's going to help in the bedroom. I think it's like Mike said. I think it's just going to hurt that power you're handing over to the girl. Like, hey, if you say this, suddenly we're going to stop, and it's going to make everything safer. I don't think it's going to happen.
Thank you.
The main problem is I just can't buy it. I don't see the point.
Alright, thank you for your reaction. Let's go to...
I'll go.
Wait.
I'll go.
Oh, you want to go now. Alright, go. Or not, so I'm sorry.
Stingray.
Excuse me, Stingray.
Well, I mean, I understand why in a BDSM scenario you'd want to have a safe word because you're whipping them, and part of the fantasy is them saying, no, stop, no. Well, one time when I was with a girl, we were doing that, and she was to fight against me, and then guess what she said? Stop. Seriously, stop. And I was like, oh, well, if I'm, like, forcing myself on her, and she says, seriously, stop, like, I'll respond to that. I mean, that wasn't even a safe word, but that's how easy it is to express that. Like, it's not, like, it goes out of that fantasy so quick that it just is stopped when you just explain what's going on. Just by having some word like banana as some preconceived contract, I mean, it's just the same as explaining, just saying, hey, listen, no, really stop, stop. Takes it out. You don't need to have these words, in my opinion.
Thank you, Stingray. Let's go to,
I haven't gone yet. High school.
Oh, it's because we can't see your video, but okay, go ahead, high school. You can go.
Okay, well, I'll just keep because it's lagging if I have my video on.
Go ahead.
But the main thing I'm getting from this is the philosophy seems extremely complicated, Mr. Hook, because the concept of safe words, first of all, when you're talking about banana, I mean, what if she says no, and then she says banana? So she's saying no, and then banana. So, I mean, how are we gonna know if that's rape or not? And, so yeah, everyone else basically said all my points. I basically agree with what everyone else said. It's making it overly complicated. The safe word won't help. That's all I have to say.
I think your explanation was a little complicated, but that's okay.
What?
We'll go to Soul Brother.
I may not have any experience having sex, but this whole idea of these safe words and these agreements and contracts and stuff, this makes it sound too complicated. I mean, sex should be just simple. This whole legal agreement.
What?
And,
Speak up! Alright, he's too nervous. Cut his mic!
Okay.
What is he saying?
Okay, am I missing anyone?
Did we get everybody?
Skyfall.
Go ahead. Oh, and don't forget Snaky Guy after Skyfall. And Chewy.
Oh,
Snaky Guy, Skyfall, and Chewy. Go ahead. He can't talk. Go to Snaky Guy.
Yeah. Snaky Guy, you're up next.
Alright, well, it seemed like Mike's talking about sex as kind of like you're going into the Matrix, and he thinks the only way you can pull yourself out of that Matrix is if you say something like banana. And I guess, like, if you're in this whole sex matrix, how am I meant to know that banana doesn't mean my dick and she just wants more? It doesn't, there's no real connection there. It doesn't make sense. It's like, ooh, you don't, yeah, sure, maybe it's harder to think rationally, I wouldn't know. But I don't think it's like, well, I have a boner, so now I can't think at all. That's stupid. It doesn't make sense.
Alright, thank you. Let's go to Chewy.
Last guy. Chewy? He's asleep. Okay. We've heard from the audience. I think you guys have made even more. Some of you guys made even more coherent arguments than I made, and I was impressed by the audience members. Shy guys, don't worry about it. You're getting experience. High School 101, you're incoherent point. I don't know. I was about to shoot myself, but again, your guys are gaining experience, so don't let this be a setback for you guys. I'm comfortable enough to rest my case just based on what the students have said, because I think they've offered some really intelligent arguments. I'm even willing to give you the last word if you want to say the last word, Mr. Hook, or do you have any other further arguments to offer up other than what you've already said?
I'm more than happy to answer some of the questions that were presented.
Please do.
If you don't mind.
Go for it.
I am not in any way, shape, or form saying if the girl is struggling, saying no, acting irrationally, that no, you should just ignore that and keep going until she says the safe word. Not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that there are times and spaces where, in that moment, that they may not be able to think rationally, or it may be you. You might be at a point where she's doing something and you're just uncomfortable and you don't know how to handle it. If you have this thing and you make it very clear from the start that if the word is banana, okay, I like the word red myself, but if the word is banana, then you know at that moment, either you say it or she says it, that means consent is removed. When consent
This is
removed,
the same argument you've made 5 times already. Is there any new argument you want to add? This is the same thing. You've already said this. You've already said this point.
Wouldn't it be easier for her to, like, let's say she wants to, like, I don't know.
Hold on 1 second. DB actually had a question. Is it okay if a student asks you a question, Mr. Hood?
Please.
Alright, DB, go ahead.
My question is, earlier in the argument, you were talking about brain chemistry, and you were talking about how when people start having sex, they lose their rationale. And you were saying how the safe word is kind of like a seed that's planted there that kind of sits there and overrides how can you say this? The frazzlement of sex. But my question is, why is it that a word that you just said 10 minutes ago, you just told the girl 10 minutes ago, why is it more effective than a word that she has grown up learning? Isn't the word no or stop that? Hasn't she grown up saying those words? Isn't that more ingrained in her psyche than a word you just said 10 minutes ago? Why is your safe word more effective than any other word?
What I'm saying is that they should go side by side. What I'm saying is that when you are in that state of mind, when you are in the middle of that act, sometimes the rational part of your brain, parts of your rationale kind of get free. And this goes back into, you can look at sex chemistry and all this other stuff where your inhibitions are loosened up. So what I'm saying is that you have these two things side by side. If she's struggling, she's saying no, you know that's going to stop. If for some reason she cannot think that, this is something that, first off, this is something you should be taught. If you can do it with a long-term sex partner, it works much better. Okay.
Why should you even have to do this with a long-term sex partner if you're comfortable having sex with her? And other than that, I'd like to see this conversation happen between people who have been drinking at a bar, who are already semi-inebriated or buzzed, and now you're going to talk about rationality and brain chemistry? I mean, unless you can offer a different argument up than the argument you've already presented, it's the same argument. I don't know if you hear yourself talking, but you're offering the same exact argument. We've heard this argument. Is there any other argument you have to offer up?
Can I use my personal experience?
Sure, but then I would use mine. Go ahead.
Okay. Throughout my 20 years of doing this, throughout my 20 years of all the different people I've been, and not just in sexual situations, but in other situations, this idea, if it's in place, gives another option to be able to say, okay, if I cannot rationally, get my brain around the concept of no stop, then I have this other option. That's simply all it is another option. It is not something that I'm saying everybody should use all the time. What I'm saying is, this is something that you should have.
It's an irrelevant option. It's not rational. It's an irrelevant option. We've already demonstrated. We've demonstrated it. We talked. You should have heard all the arguments presented. They give you perfectly valid reasons for why it's irrational. It's not a valid argument.
For them because it's an awkward conversation. It's this.
No, that was Mikey Mike. I don't think Mikey Mike's point was that good, where he said it's based on it's awkward to have the conversation. I thought that was a weak argument. I'm not talking about specifically about his argument. You addressed his argument, but I think his was the weakest argument of all. That point he made, where it's an awkward conversation to have. That should be irrelevant. If you can't have a conversation about sex with somebody, you shouldn't be having sex. That's number one. But the other students or audience members have made very valid points. So I was listening to them. I thought they were extremely valid. And you notice
you don't think that having another option that might.
I heard your argument about the option, but didn't you think it was curious that every student here, we didn't even know what this debate was going to be about, other than the topic of BDSM, and yet after the debate, they're all basically giving you the same argument from different angles and talking about.
I'm not even bringing BDSM into the conversation.
You're not?
No, because this particular thing that I am talking about has nothing to do with BDSM.
Okay, even more so to the point that if you're just talking about regular sex, this is even more absurd. I could see this happening and being necessary in a BDSM setting, which is an abnormal sexual setting, but for a regular sexual setting, this is totally absurd. And I think the arguments from the different students, they're all in unison. They're all in agreement. They haven't had a team huddle. I didn't coach them. We didn't even know what this debate was about. And yet they're all saying the same thing. I mean, that doesn't strike you as strange when they're all giving you the same feedback?
I understand because this is a topic, this is a discussion that is something that has not been presented to them and had the time.
They just heard you present your side of it.
Oh, it's all I'm saying is this is another option. Okay, that's all I am saying.
So is sticking a gun in your mouth.
Like it, use it.
So is sticking a gun in your mouth. It's another option, but it's a bad option. We don't recommend bad options.
You're making it a right. You're making it a right. I'm trying to make a solid.
No, what you're doing. What you should have listened to two other students when they said that the argument you're presenting makes women less accountable when we should be making women more accountable. Not less accountable, more accountable. What's that?
You're giving them the power. You're saying here. What I'm doing is saying here is something that if we use it, you have the power to stop me. That is what that.
You really think a safe word gives a woman power? You're absurd.
Yes.
It's a word.
So it's no.
Okay, so you're saying they're equally irrelevant. If I really didn't care about her safe word and I really wanted to rape her, I could. What would a safe word do to stop me?
What I'm saying is they are equally valid.
Then it's useless to even if no is just as valid as red or banana, then there's no point in even referring to banana or red. You already have no. There's no point.
No, you give another option. All you're doing is saying,
again, you haven't provided any rationale for your point, and I think we're going around in circles.
And giving them an option is not a rationale.
I just explained how your point was absurd. I'm going to give you a last word to close your argument out. Do you have any closing argument you want to make?
I wanted to say basically that I think that if you give people more options, there is a chance that things could be better. That is all this is. I am pulling out another option. If you want to use it, great. If you don't want to use it, great. I am totally cool. If you decide that, it's not, it doesn't make sense, it doesn't work for you, cool. I am right on board with you. If it doesn't work for you, great.
Okay. I think your argument was totally irrational. I think you undermined it with all the reasons that we've shown here. I don't want to rehash them. I do thank you for coming to these debates. I think these debates are super important for opposing sides, critics, what have you, opponents of what we teach here, to come and have this discussion. So at least you have the balls to come here and have this debate. I don't think you're rational or sane. I think you're insane, but I definitely thank you for having the balls to step in here, because many of our critics are not like you. They don't have the balls to step up and state their views and defend their views.
I'd be more than happy to come back anytime to have any.
Yay! Woohoo! You can invite me to your parties.
Hold on. I want to end the debate right here, but there's like a couple students who are begging to ask a question.
Let's formally end it, and then we'll stop recording. They can ask whatever they want. We can have them stay over.
Thank you everyone for another episode of Manhood Academy Debates. We'll see you next time.
Woo! Thank you, Mr. Hook.